But who am I in the physical realm? I'm Linda Johnson. My mother is a Hepker, and my father is a Johnson. In the physical, I'm half Johnson and half Hepker. I am a reflection of my father. I am a reflection of my mother, who is a reflection of theirs.
Right.
You see? And what does my father and mother reflect? Jesus Christ. Somebody said, when I think about my family on both sides, I think of the godliness and the heritage, and I think of there's ministers on both sides, and yeah, there's some heathen a little bit on the Johnson side, I think. And I mean, you know, there's a lot of ministers over there, but there's also some mess over there. We got a little mess on the Hepker, not a lot, but it's there, you know, you got that. But bottom line, it's a reflection of God. Cindy might not like it that we kind of look alike, but the bottom line is we're blood. We're blood. And there's a little bit of looking alike. I mean, this shouldn't be anything to be ashamed of. And I mean, and believe it or not, our thinking is a lot alike. Why? Because of what we've been taught, which has been the Word. But who am I? You know, we go into this where, who am I? Who am I? See, I used to think about when I was a little girl, I wanted to grow up. You know, you always have this fantasy of what life is going to be like. And I always loved, you know, the idea of Cinderella. I wanted to be beautiful. I remember wanting to dress up in the fancy little dresses, and I wanted to be beautiful because I felt like that would make me beautiful. I felt like that would do it. That would help me get the man. That would help me. Bottom line is, I'm single. And let me tell you something. If you think a man's going to make you happy and complete, he's not. He will rob you out of the ministry that God's trying to birth in you.
Right.
That's right. If you got a man that is hindering you from the call that God is pulling you into, you better get rid of him. Because you'll never be complete. I'm single, and I used to think when I was a little girl, I was going to get married. I was going to have lots of babies. I had these dreams. I was going to be some man's princess. I was going to make somebody happy. I was going to be the best mom in the whole world. I didn't want to work. I wanted to stay home and take care of kids and can stuff that I don't even know how to do. and I was going to make clothes, and I hate to sew. I mean, I can barely sew a button. I can't cook, though. I can't cook. However, all my dreams begin to shatter.
That's right.
25 came. There wasn't no man. 30 came. Clock was ticking. I had a few knocks on the door. And one of them I fell in love with. And he said to me, he took off, and I was left brokenhearted and once again. And he said to me that he did fall in love with me. And he was a Christian. Assemblies of God boy. I thought for sure this was the one.
Yep.
And you know what he said to me? I thought because I was fat. Surely that must have been the reason. But what he told me was he couldn't make a commitment to me because of the call of God on my life. And he wasn't called to preach like I was called to preach. And he knew. And I wasn't even really preaching at that time. Well, he takes off. And I'm broken.
Right.
Then he comes back and he does this yo-yo thing with me. Back and forth, back and forth. And you know what? If I give up that, if I just not even pursue preaching. See, my dad really didn't want me to go into ministry. It isn't that he didn't want me to do what God called me to do, but he knew the price that you pay when you go into the ministry. Mm-hmm. He knew the hardship. Right. And I had to come to a place, and one time, finally, my heart was yo-yoing between him, and I wanted him because it was, I'm in my 30s, and come on, I want some children, and, that needs to be done soon. And, I'm thinking, something's got to be done here. Time's a wasting. I did some fasting, and I got in the Word. And guess what? I fasted all day. I called him up and said, I want to get together. Oh, he was excited about getting together. See, all I did, letting him yo-yo back and forth, all it did was feed his ego. This is not in my notes, but this is for somebody. It fed his ego. While it was feeding his ego, it was tearing me apart in my spiritual life. It was hindering me from stepping in further into God's plan. Right. I fasted that day. And I walked up. I had asked her, my friend of mine who lived upstairs. I ran upstairs. I said, and she prayed for me all day long. And I ran up and I knocked on her door. And when I walked through the door, she went like this. She goes, "Wow." I said, "What?" Here I am. I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" She goes, "The glory of God is just booming on you. There's a glow about you." And I thought, right then, my focus was get over there and get this thing done. I walked out of there, knocked on the door. He took my coat, and he took a step back, and he goes, "Wow, you look good tonight." I thought, well, good.
She's a nut.
And I just let him have it. I said, "Let me tell you something. Let this be embossed on your mind, because when I walk out that door, I'm not coming back. I'm not playing your games no more. Don't call me no more. Don't play with my emotions. I've got a work to do for God. Amen. If you want to get and come alongside me, and you want to work in this ministry together, that's fine. But don't mess with my heart no more, because it belongs to God."
Amen.
Yes. Right. It's good.
I'll do it with you, or I'll do it without you.
All right.
He didn't call me back. I still haven't heard from him. Last I heard, he's still single. I told him, I said, "Let me tell you something. One day, you're going to be sitting alone, and you're going to be bald-headed, sitting alone in your rocking chair. And you're going to be all alone, and you're going to remember back to that day when you thought, wow, this woman, I could have had her, and I could have been blessed." And I said, "It's going to be your loss. Your loss." Now, I'd like to tell you, I walked out there and shouting and joy and everything, but when I got to my car and I pulled away, I went around the block and I bawled like a banshee. I tell you what, I bawled and squalled, because I knew. But guess what? God was there in that time. He was there in that time. Who am I? Who am I? I think, and I don't know women, I've never been married. But can you be so married that sometimes you get lost of who you are in your children, in your husband, and your time with God even, and you get to the place where you don't even know who you are. And if you think you have to leave your husband and your children to find that out, that's a lie from the pit of hell.